Hello and welcome to the Grapple Theory Podcast. Thank you so much for joining us once again. Now, this week, our very special guest is someone who doesn't really do interviews all that often, and so it's a huge honour for us to have her on the podcast this week. We're going to be talking to her about her exciting new project that she's going to be releasing in just a few days' time if you're watching this when it debuts, and if you're watching it later, it may already be released, so go check it out. We're going to be talking to her about all this huge news she's got coming up, as well about wrestling and her life in Australia and America and the UK. She's really been everywhere over the past few months. It's been a real slog for her. But we're going to be talking to her about all that, plus loads more. You're in for a real treat this week. I'm delighted to welcome to the Grapple Theory Podcast the violence artist, Charli Evans. Charli, thank you so much for taking the time to come on the podcast this week. Now, why don't you kick us off with this big news that you've got? Tell us all about it.
So I'm releasing a 44-page hardcover photo book. It's based off Manami Toyota's B-Bomb book that she released in 96. And I found this when I was in this wrestling store in Japan. And I was sitting on the ground looking through all these photos, and this one of Manami came up and I was just in awe of it. It was just stunning. And it was so unlike anything I've ever seen before. It was just really classy and graceful, but still, it showed a lot. And I just thought, oh, this is beautiful. And then for the next year, I tried to find where it was from because it was just this singular little photo. And I finally found the book and I bought it for myself for my birthday. And it's my prized possession. It's beautiful. And so I looked more into it. She was 25 when she released it. And I had this idea, when I'm 25, I'd love to recreate it or pay my respect to it in some way, not obviously photo for photo, but put my own spin on it and release something like that, because I just think, everyone does t-shirts and 8x10s and it's overdone and, a lot of them are ugly as fuck. And, to release merchandise that people are proud to own and, you can put on your coffee table and you can have something that in 20 years time, has some sort of value to it, I think is really different and exciting, and I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, and you can tell by the way you're talking about it, the excitement in your voice. And like you say, it's a piece of merch that, again, it's not going to collect dust in your drawer like a t-shirt will. You can have it out, you can show it to people when they come round, things like that. It's something you can actually, physically hold in your hand as well.
Yeah, my Manami book is pride of my fucking room. It's right in the center. I'll always have it out on display. I love it. And it's just, it's just so different. And even if you're not a wrestling fan, I think you can appreciate it.
Yeah, because it's artwork, it's photography as well. Yeah. It's not just about a wrestler. You wouldn't have to be a wrestler for anyone to look at that book and be like, oh, she's a wrestler, so that's why I like it.
Yeah, my book has absolutely nothing to do with wrestling. There is no wrestling images in it. There's a few in hers, but, I wanted to keep this, strictly me. And also, I collaborated with James and Musselwhite on this, and he was the only person that I would wanted to do this with, because I think he is just so fucking incredible, and Fliss is so amazing. She really helps style everything and put the finishing touches on everything, and it was just so good to work with them.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about working with them in that whole process, because any wrestling fan generally will know how talented James is with his photography, and even in the last few weeks, the likes of Harley Hudson and Mariah May have had some incredible shoots with him that have come out amazing. Yeah. How was that whole process, and also how long was that process in terms of for you from conception to talking to him to getting it done? How long was that entire thing?
So I had the idea about it in 2020 when I first got the book. I bought it for my birthday in 2020, and I had the idea about it, and I was you know what, it'd be really cool if I did it, but I don't know if I was confident enough to do it, because it is quite risque, and I'm showing a lot, showing the most I've ever shown.
Wow.
But a really beautiful way. And so I was kind of thinking about it for ages, and then when I was in America at the end of 2021, I was you know what, I know I'm going back to the UK. I think James would be the perfect person to do it with, because he always has such an artsy take on any wrestling photos that we would do backstage and stuff like that. It was always, just a bit different, and I really like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so, and I was comfortable with him. I think that was a big part of it too. If I'm not going to be comfortable around the person, it's not gonna turn out the way I want it to.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I messaged James at the end of 2021 and was hey, I had this idea. if you want to do it. Like, it's different and it's out there. I know you're not doing wrestling stuff anymore, but like, this is my idea. And I showed him some photos of the book, and he was like, yes, we would absolutely love to do this. So we did that, and kind of like worked out a date when I was back in the UK, and then slowly put things together over the next month, like trying to work out like exact outfits and stuff like that. And then the whole shoot, it was like a 9-hour shoot. It was really long. Yeah. So
how do you like keep up your energy during that? How do you like keep going? Like,
it was long, but like I just wanted it to be so perfect. Like, I just had this idea in my head, and it was like the third photo that he took, and I was like, oh my God, like that's the one. You know what I mean? Like there was just so many. And the hardest part, honestly, was like he sent me the file of all the photos that we had taken, and then I had to cut it down, and that was the hardest part. Yeah,
the editing. Yeah, deciding what to drop.
I think we were like, oh, okay, maybe we'll do like a 24-page sort of thing, and then I honestly I picked like 60-something images, and then I was like, okay, I'll wean it down to 44.
So it's a page an image.
There's some with 2, and there's some with 3, but yeah, it's a 44-page book, so there's probably over 44 images.
Amazing. Fantastic. Yeah. And something you mentioned there that I'm really interested to pick up on, again, because I wanted to ask you about this later, but sort of linking it in terms of you saying it's the most you've ever shown, like I wanted to sort of link that to, again, things like your OnlyFans and stuff, like, because obviously not just physically, but I imagine emotionally it's must be a little daunting as well to open that much of yourself up to the public for people to see. Does that thought cross your mind when you're doing stuff like that? Obviously it's a huge passion project for you, but like, does that cross your mind when you're being that, I guess, vulnerable with it?
Yeah, and I think that's something that I did want to show to people, because I'm a very emotional, sensitive, vulnerable person outside of wrestling. And I think when I wrestle, maybe sometimes, no, I think I do show it when I wrestle. Yeah. But in a completely different way. So I think with this, I'm not afraid whatsoever. I am so confident with what I was presenting in that book, because it's completely who I am. I think with OnlyFans sometimes it is very daunting, because you have these people on there that come on, you know, talk to you terribly. And you can get a little bit down on yourself with that. Yeah. But I mean, at the end of the day, they paid you, so fuck it.
Yeah, exactly. You know, you're still getting their money, like.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, I never do anything that I'm not comfortable with. You know, I'm not doing anything crazy. Yeah. And respecting everyone that does, that's absolutely incredible, and I have nothing but respect for you guys. But yeah, so I think sometimes people expect more of you, but I think I've just given myself completely to this book.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's beautiful to hear, and we can't wait to see it. I'm sure it's going to be incredible. And you sort of mentioned it early on, but so in terms of the shots, it's like part sort of paying homage to Manami, and part sort of your own style as well.
Yeah, so it's all black and white, like hers. And you know, I searched for so long to try and find, you know, pieces that she was wearing in hers and stuff like that. So it's very like leathery and chainy and like, it's just, you can see the inspiration, but I don't want to ever completely copy. Like, it's not a complete copy. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, it's very much, and like it twists into me, but the idea has stemmed from her. Yeah,
absolutely. And you sort of mentioned in our chatting in setting up this interview, in that, you know, you sort of want it to be that, you know, in another 20 years, you know, someone else comes across it and sees you in that and takes inspiration from you in that book. I mean, has that, in terms of, in a sort of like on a serious level, like crossed your mind as to like, you know, that's a feasible thing that could happen and what that would mean to you?
That would be amazing if it did. Because I think sometimes you forget, like, you do have such a big impact on people. Like, and it's nice to stop and think about that sometimes, because, you know, when I was growing up watching wrestling, Jeff Hardy's never going to know how much he influenced me. But, you know, like, and like, it's nice to be able to pay your respect to someone that influenced you so much. So I think that's what I've done here. And then maybe in 20 years, some girl will have a tour of Japan and she'll pick it up. Yeah. And be cool. Like, you know, and if not, I get to look back on it in 50 years and go, fuck, I was hot.
Yeah, like I did that. Damn.
Exactly. Look at mum. Woo.
Yeah, that's when you got to wait for the kids to be a bit older to see.
Yeah. For sure.
Brilliant. Well, that's fantastic, and that's amazing to hear, and we're all so excited for you in terms of, what about when, obviously we're recording this early June. It's still coming out early June. It's coming out on hopefully the 5th of June if people are watching it now. So what about in terms of release? Like, when can people expect to see this out, and when can they buy it?
Yeah, so it goes on pre-sale on the 9th of June. It's going to be 20% off for everyone that's on my OnlyFans. And then 10% off for the first few days if you're not. But if you want to subscribe and get more off, that's always nice for everyone. So, yeah, it'll be available on the 9th of June, probably around like 6, 7 p.m. UK time. And it'll be via James's Big Cartel, so his store.
Yeah. Fab, brilliant. Well, everyone go
please
check
buy
it out.
it.
Yeah.
I've put so much effort into it, please.
I'm sure plenty of people will. It's going to be absolutely great. We're absolutely sure of that. That's
so
something I want to ask you as well in terms of because I guess for the last sort of year and a half since wrestling came back, you've been all over the place, like country-wise. Is that tough, like when you're balancing like your social schedule and what you're doing and things like this, like podcasts and stuff, in terms of like, right, where am I going to be? Where are they? Like, what time do I need to get up? What time should I be posting to get the most audience? Things like that.
Yeah, it's really, really confusing, especially because I've moved. So like in the last 6 months, I've lived in 3 different countries.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. Or like the last 7.5 months now. So yeah, I was like in America to start off with, and that was a complete secret. Like literally my family knew and my best friend here, like Jessica Troy, knew, and that was it. I was going
to ask how many people knew about that in terms of just like, obviously, just so you know, like from my personal perspective and other wrestling fans that I know, I think like genuinely probably one of the greatest wrestling love stories I think I've ever seen. It's been fantastic, and like following you guys on social throughout the whole thing has been bonkers, if I'm honest, just pretty mad.
It's crazy, right?
But it really was that much of a secret, like everything that went on.
Yeah, like we joked about it early on, but obviously Australia was in a complete lockdown. They weren't letting anyone in or out. And we joked about it. We're like, oh, wouldn't it be great if like I showed up on that blow off match and come and saved you or whatever? But it was just like a thought. And then I woke up one day and Brett from GCW and Orange Crush, who runs JCW, had messaged me. And Brett was like, oh, are you and Connor legit? Like, is this legit? And I was like, yeah. And they're like, okay, well, we have this idea where we want to bring you over and have you run in on the match. But we don't want to tell him.
So,
and I was like,
yeah, because that's the thing. That's the thing that was mental to me. Like, so he didn't know.
So we met on the Thursday. The show was a Saturday, but he didn't know
until the Thursday.
Yeah.
So what about like the flight and stuff? Because I imagine for him that's like a bunch of time where you're not like, I guess, replying to messages or something, and he's like, "Where has she gone?"
Yeah, you can get Wi-Fi and shit though. So.
Oh, I suppose you can on planes now, can't you? So it's been so long since I've been on a plane, I don't even know what's what anymore.
Yeah, because that's what I was thinking too, and I was like, I'm gonna have to get Wi-Fi. I'm gonna have to fucking bite the bullet and pay for it. But yeah, it was crazy. Like. When they said it, they're like, we want you to surprise him in the ring. And I was like, absolutely not. He'll have a fucking heart attack. Like, he'll die. His limbs will stop working. And I was like, we'll do it before. So, like, we did it beforehand on a Thursday. I was on the roof of John Carlo's apartment. And, like, the video that John Carlo filmed is just, like,
oh, it's beautiful.
So cool. And I'm, like, so glad that we'll have that forever.
Yeah, again, another just really lovely memory to have.
Yeah, and like we had applied for like 2 exemptions or 3 exemptions to get me out of the country, to get to America when I was locked down, and they all got denied, and that was just like soul destroying.
Yeah. What was there anything different about the one that finally went through, or?
I just gave them like everything I possibly could. I was like, "There's no way they can deny this." Do you know what I mean? Like they had bought my flights, they had my hotel. Like I was like, "I'm not coming back," and I think that was the thing. I think. The issue with people coming back into the country and bringing COVID if they possibly did. So I think that was what they were really trying to stop. So I was like, I'm not coming back. Here's my flights. Like, I don't have a return flight. Like, here's my accommodation. This is where I'm going to be. And I wrote this big, long letter. Like, Brett and Orange Crush wrote me a letter. And I was like, if this fails, like, I don't fucking know. Like, there's no possible way. So, yeah, that got accepted. And I was like, oh, my God, okay. So I packed all my shit up and went, and then I was in America for 3 months, and that was really cool because I had done like short stints in America, like 2 weeks, but never really like American indies.
Yeah.
Like Shimmer and like Mania weekends, which are tiring as fuck. But I had never really like gone and done anything. And GCW had been my goal for so long. So it was really cool. Like when Brett was in my DMs, I was like, what the fuck?
What is happening?
Like, I didn't know who I am. So yeah, that was sick.
No, that's amazing. That's amazing. And one other thing, actually, because we're going to lead on to our first sort of like fun feature based on where you've been the last sort of year. But one other thing I wanted to ask about that, because I know you like, and obviously you and Connor have been very like public with your relationship on social media. But you mentioned like obviously it's sort of being that slow build, and I think a lot of people were like, you know, it started off as like this flirty banter, and then all of a sudden like it clicked with everyone. They're like, hang on, this is a thing. Yeah. But like, what was the moment like that? That's why I want to ask is like, what's the moment for you? Was there a specific moment where, you know, I guess the flirtiness stopped and you were like, hang on, this is going to be something? Was there a moment that like sticks in your mind?
The first second I saw him ever.
Really?
Yeah, before I even ever spoke to him.
You knew that was it?
Yeah. I had never had that feeling with like anyone else, and I was like, oh my God, what the fuck? And I was like, who is this? And I like had to like search who he was. And I messaged Davey Vega from the Besties. And because I saw he was in St. Louis. And I was like, Vega, who the fuck is this? And he's like, oh, it's Everett Connors, he's really cool. And I literally said to him, I think I'm in love. And then it just happened from there. And I think everyone did think it was a joke. And I mean, I understand because we're as far away from each other as we can possibly be. So, I mean, I understand. But, yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's amazing. And like I said, I think it's just a really nice story, like, for you both to have. And, like, I guess it's, like, must be kind of odd, but, like, the fact that, like, the wrestling fan base has been able to go on that journey with you. And the way that video blew up when you made your GCW appearance there to save him. Like, the way that blew up was just mental, like, truly mental.
It was so cool. And, like, everyone there just welcomed me and so lovely. And, like, especially, like, the fans and stuff. It was just, like, it was so cool.
Well, like I said, that leads us on to our first little fun feature. And this is the one we've only done once, actually, before with Roy Johnson, because he also, like, you know, spends his time between the UK and Ibiza. So, man. Yeah, loves it, doesn't he? But given you're travelling the last year, it's going to be a similar concept. I'm going to give you a few topics, and you tell me out of America, the UK, and Australia, who does it best.
Okay.
I was going to add Japan to the list, but I thought you'd just answer Japan for every answer, and I thought that wouldn't be as fun. I thought that wouldn't be as fun. Right, so the first one is the food.
Australia.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. How come?
Down.
Is it the fairy bread?
Fairy bread's fucking good. I don't know. It's just, I think our fresh produce is the best. And I'm vegan, so I like lettuce.
Sure.
But American food's lit too, because it's just like fucked.
Really? UK at the bottom?
UK's good too. Honestly, I love food, so but Australia.
I was going to ask, I don't know if this is the same with vegan burgers, I guess, but is it right that Australians put beetroot on burgers?
Yeah, it's fucking delicious.
That's and weird. Pineapple. That's really weird.
Like canned beetroot though.
Is there a difference, like in taste? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's not like a beetroot if you just cut it up.
Right.
Like it's almost like it has like vinegary sort of. It's like pickled almost.
Okay, it tastes more like a pickle than like beetroot.
It's really good.
Okay, all right, maybe I'll give it a go.
Highly recommend.
All right, I'll see if I can find some canned beetroot and give it a go, because that just seems really bizarre to me. All right, so that's 1-0 to Australia. The next one is transport.
Not America.
Definitely not America.
I guess the UK, because there's just trains everywhere. Like, I never drove in the UK the whole time I was there.
Yeah, the cost racks up a bit with trains, but there's a lot of them.
Yeah, like everywhere. And I guess there kind of is around here, but less so because Australia is so, like, hilly, especially near the coast, so you can't really have trains.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, like, there's ones here, but, yeah, like, more towards the coastline, you can't really.
Oh, okay.
I'd say the UK.
All right. America falling behind. The next one is
no public transport. It's crazy.
Yeah, I know. I've seen stuff about that. Like, I saw this thing the other day on like how it's taken them like 8 years plus it's still not been built to like get a train line between San Francisco and Los Angeles. And I'm like, how?
Like, the only place I've been that has like public transport is like New York.
Yeah, and that's like the metro, isn't it? Like, and
Yeah, like the underground sort of.
that's mental. I don't know how they survive. I don't know how they survive.
No, everyone drives. It's wild.
That reminds me of like again going off topic completely, but I was in Milton Keynes last week for My Chemical Romance, and that's the most crazy town I've ever been in. Like, if you don't drive in Milton Keynes, you can't get anywhere.
Yeah, which is crazy. Like, that's what I love about the UK. Like, you don't have to drive.
Yeah,
like, I love
so
driving,
close.
but like, there's no way I could survive here and not drive.
Yeah, and that's it's that extra option, isn't it?
There's like one Uber in my town.
Just way out the way. Way out the way.
One guy.
Brilliant. Well, the next one is housing.
Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna say Australia.
Yeah.
But it's fucking expensive.
Is it?
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Is it? I only know it from like years ago, like living with my parents. They put on things like A Place in the Sun and stuff like that, where you like they're looking for their holiday home or whatever.
Right, I love shows like that. I used to watch Escape to the Country all the time. But I would like because England's so compact, right? Like everything's on top of each other. Like I love Australia because it's so spread out, and you have like a big backyard, and obviously depending where you are. Like I live in a bit of a coastal area.
Yeah.
So there's more room. But it's just so expensive. It's fucking crazy. That's why everyone needs to buy my book so I can afford to buy a house one day because it's not looking likely.
Well, again, another tangent because I actually had this to ask you with obviously, Connor, huge supporter of Your OnlyFans for you as well. But anyone who follows his Twitter will know that the underlying reason is because he wants to never work again.
Yeah.
So come on, like how's it going with that? I'm not expecting, actual figures, but is it getting closer that goal? Are we going to get Connor to be a stay at home guy now?
One day. That's the dream. He's too pretty to work. He shouldn't have to work. He should just stay home and do whatever he wants.
Like trophy husband sort of thing.
Please, trophy husband. Please subscribe. He'll vacuum the house and cook for me and that'd be great.
That is the dream. I mean, like living it.
Everyone.
Brilliant.
No one should work.
Well, I have a feeling this next one's the answer is not going to be the UK, but it's the weather.
I'd say Australia.
Yeah, it's pulling a
right now. It's terrible. It looks sunny, but it is sunny, but it's cold.
Yeah, it's winter now for you guys, isn't it?
It's just gone into winter, yeah. But we've had like very bad rain since we got back.
Is that a bit of a weird adjustment when you're doing so much travelling, like it's the season stuff more so?
Yeah. Yeah, there was like in 2019, I was in England for the start of the year, so it was freezing. Then I went to Japan and it was still really cold.
Yeah.
And then I went to America and it was freezing. And then I went back to Japan and it was freezing. And so I had like an extended, like the whole year was winter.
It's all winter.
Where I was.
But still only one Christmas.
It was terrible. I hate winter. But yeah, I would say Australia. But yeah, right now we're having like a lot of rain.
Really?
Yeah, it sucks. I was like, Connor, it's so beautiful here. It's always sunny. And then we get here.
He's like, what have you done? What have you got me into?
Yeah, and then like I guess America, depending on where you are.
Yeah, very different. Very different. Yeah.
Yeah, like it was really cold when we were there.
Was it?
It was really. Yeah, but then I went to Florida and that was nice.
Yeah, always warm.
Yeah, it's always great. And then like I love the UK summer.
Yeah, summer's good. The rest of the year, like that brief few months, like May to September is great. Everything else is a bit.
Yeah, like we were there from January to March.
Not great. Yeah, not great weather-wise. Those months, it's not the best time to be here.
It's bitter.
Yeah, really bad. It hits you hard as well. Like the cold bite is.
Yeah, but I love the summer there.
Yeah, it is nice. It is nice. Well, Australia pulling into a lead. The next one is the nightlife. England, yeah. We won't get into it too much because I don't want to steal their thunder, but saw the clip that Tom Campbell from Cultaholic put up about you talking about Planet.
Love Planet.
Love
Planet.
And
like alcohol's so cheap in England.
Is it? See, I feel like again, actually, maybe it's because I live in London, but I feel like most like other places probably have it cheaper. But I feel like generally going out is not super cheap. But is it cheaper than like America or Australia?
Oh yeah.
Is it?
We went out the other night and a drink, like a vodka fucking Coke or something, was like $12.
Bloody hell.
And they're like this big.
That's mental.
Yeah, it was filthy.
That's extortionate, yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. Like, we got like a cocktail jug and it was like $40.
That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
it's crazy.
UK nightlife's where it's at.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's where you gotta
Absolutely.
be.
Yeah, in like the dingiest places.
Well, again, another segue, because obviously, again, don't want to steal their thunder going into talking about like Planet and stuff, but are there any other, like, whether it's in Australia or the UK, sort of, I guess almost like weird moments for Connor where like you go and do stuff that like for you seems like second nature and it's super normal and he's just like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, we went to the reptile park, which is like a place maybe like half an hour from where I am,
Right.
and they just have like kangaroos like roaming around, and you can go and like feed them and pat them, and that was really cool. And they do like a little like reptile show, and they like bring snakes and spiders, and he fucking hates that shit.
Awesome.
Yeah, so that was like, oh my god. And I'm not saying you can like go and pat kangaroos in the wild.
Don't try that.
No, don't. You'll get punched. But yeah, that was really cool.
Nice. Yeah, I can imagine that's sort of like he's had a lot of cultural differences recently, hasn't he?
Yeah. Just spiders being like on the wall, like.
Oh, that's mental to me. Like, I've not been to Australia, but like that part puts me off. Like, I don't know how you do that. Like, wake up and you find a spider on your wall, like massive. Like, I'm like, what?
Yeah, I was just like, put it on like a little piece of paper and take him outside.
Oh no! See, my partner's the one that deals with spiders in our house, and that's even like that's like in England. That's like the tiny ones, that are like this. Yeah. Like, I couldn't deal with anything bigger than that.
Yeah, a lot of them don't want to hurt you though. So if you just think about that, and there's like some that you just don't fucking touch.
But how do you know which? That's the thing. It's like, how do you know which ones?
Like the red backs you don't touch. The white tips you don't touch. Don't touch them.
I'll need to know. I'll let you know if I come over to Australia. You'll have to write me a comprehensive spider guide.
Yeah, there's some crazy ones.
Yeah, no, not touching them. Well, the next one again, the UK might double up here because it's other entertainment. It's not nightlife, but things like cinema, bowling. Just going out for the day, sort of thing.
I'd say probably America or England.
Really?
Yeah, I think with like concerts and stuff like that, like gigs. I just think because they're so close and like England's so small that like, bands can come over and do like tours and stuff like that. In America, obviously everyone's from America. Yeah, I'd say either of those.
Nice. Yeah. What's your favourite sort of thing to do? Like day off sort of thing, like in any sort of given city? What do you like to do?
I like shopping.
Yeah?
Shopping or like museums and stuff like that.
Nice.
It's always fun.
What are your go-to stores? Like if a place has these stores, you're like, oh, that's it. I'm done for the day. Or like...
Love like emo-y sort of goth stores.
Nice. Hot Topic, things like that. And
love Hot Topic. So good. Shoe shops. Big into shoe shops.
Nice.
Anything that's like, I don't know, a bit alternative, like in Melbourne. Anything from Melbourne is great.
Yeah. When we had Joel Bateman on the show, he was talking about Melbourne. He was like, Melbourne is basically essentially if like you're like a young creative person, Melbourne's the place to be in Australia.
Yeah, absolutely.
What is it about the city? Like, what's that vibe like? Like, what is it about it that gives it that?
It's just so artsy and cultural, and it's very accepting of a lot of different people.
Right.
And I really like, you'll walk the streets and there's buskers and there's people painting and like everyone's dressed really cool and like different.
Nice.
And there's fucking great food. And there's like a lot of different like independent stores too.
Right.
So I find like in Sydney it's basically just like, all like chain stores.
Yeah, nice.
So Melbourne. We went down there for the one before the last DMDU show, and I was like, we need to stay a few extra days because Anna will love it. So we stayed for like 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
And it's just so good.
Nice. Yeah, the way you describe it is like I'm from Brighton, like originally, and like the way you described it, I was like, oh, it's Brighton, but in Australia.
Yeah, it's like Brighton or like Camden.
Nice. That's really cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
Fine.
And like again, another segue while we're on the topic, because talk to me about Joel and DMDU, because we had him on the show, and that was sort of in their early goings, but it's been probably a few months on from that now. And you featured on a few of their shows. He said about how his match with you was one of his favourite matches he's ever had. I mean, talk to me about him and the work they're doing, and it must be really nice to see a friend succeeding so much with a new promotion in somewhere that's, I guess, not traditionally known for that style of wrestling.
Yeah, I love Joel. He's like one of my best friends. I swear. I met him when I was like, probably would have been like my 5th or 6th match. It was like my first interstate booking. I was in Melbourne, and him and Hawko, who ring announcers for DMDU sometimes, they were like, oh, I think you should do a promo on the show tonight. And I had never done a promo. And I was like, oh, okay. And, they like gave me like some pointers and stuff. And like, so they like, even from early on, they gave me opportunities that I wouldn't have got elsewhere because people, I'm so new, like I don't really need to be doing that or have the experience to be doing that.
Yeah.
It's like, no, just go and do it. So if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And so like from early on, they were always so great to me. And then, we'd say hi here and there or whatever. And then we met up in Japan when I was there and he was there on a holiday and kind of like, kicked it off again and then like spoke death matches. And then from there, I came back to Australia and like the first thing he was like, okay, like we should do one. And I was like, okay. So yeah, so like that happened. And even when, he first told me about the idea for DMDU, it was just exciting because there wasn't anything like that in Australia, especially at the time, like years and years ago, Mad Dog and Lobo, classic. And they were doing them 15 years ago, but, we hadn't had any for so long, especially like in a mainstream sort of arena. So it was really cool just to be like, oh, fuck, you know what? Like, why not just do something different and see what happens?
Yeah.
It's exciting. It's given a lot of people like way more opportunities, like Callan.
Oh, yeah, he mentioned Callan when we asked him about like the up-and-comers that you would like recommend and like he's incredible.
Yeah, like Callan's awesome and, he's going off and doing stuff in America and England and stuff like that, so that's fucking cool. Like, and he never would have had the opportunity to do that if it wasn't for D&D, like putting faith in him. And like to see Joel also like succeeding so much is so, so good.
Yeah.
Because he's been wrestling for so long.
Yeah. Yeah, he deserves a chance, yeah.
Yeah, he was always kind of like the other guy, do you know what I mean? That could have good matches with anyone, but you'd always like people would see like Joel makes people look like stars.
Yeah.
And then people would see those people and be like, oh, they're so good. But, it's actually Joel.
Who's making them, yeah.
Yeah. And like we had never wrestled before. Our first match ever was at Deathmatch. And it was just so easy. Like I get really nervous before Deathmatch like that because I'm a fucking pussy. Like I'm a wimp.
The thing is, you couldn't tell in the ring. The way you, like, especially when you do, like, hardcore and death matches and stuff, you wouldn't be able to tell.
Oh, I'm terrified of everything. So, like, beforehand, he's like, oh, let's do this. And, like, I had never really done, like, a lot of glass or a pane of glass or a cut can board. I'd never done, like, any of those things. So to be in there with someone that you trust and then, like, when we started going, I was like, oh, okay, like... it's just nice wrestling people that are like where they need to be and that they're going to be there for you and protect you and it's just so easy.
Yeah.
And then so that first one, I loved it. And then we did like the second one recently and like I'm still hurt. So it was kind of like it wasn't as big as the last one. We used a lot more glass though, goddamn. But it was nice to see, that one with Joel was like my third death match. And then, I went and did GCW and had like more experience with that and was kind of like just thrown into the deep end and to come out of that and like go into the second one with Joel with just much more confidence.
Yeah.
I think was really nice. And I hope there's a third one because when I'm like 100% it'll be even better.
Yeah. I was going to say another sort of segue, but you mentioned the injury. How are you? How is everything? Like how's your sort of progress?
It's all right. It's just like a very like all you can do is kind of rest.
Sure.
Like and not really like and just rehab it. Like you can't, fast on it.
Yeah.
Or, it's my trap, so I'm going to be moving it all day.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's getting better. I've been doing like acupuncture and stuff for it, which is helping a lot, but not 100% yet.
No, but you'll get there. And we can't wait for you to get back to 100%. Because again, you're having great matches at not 100%. So when you're back to 100%, like
what a crazy guy.
It's going to be great.
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. Well, we went on a bigger segue there, but by my count, I think it's 3 to Australia, 2 to the UK, 1 to USA. And we only got 2 more left. Crucial thing now for a wrestler is gyms.
Probably America.
Yeah?
Yeah, because they're just everywhere.
Are they?
They're just everywhere. Yeah.
Because America, like, I haven't been to much of America, but all I know of America, like, layout is, like, I've been to a couple of parts of California where, like, the people I'm staying with will be like, oh, we just need to go to the shop to pick up something. And that seems to me like a 5-minute journey. And it turns out to be a half an hour journey. And I'm like, how is this just pop into the shops?
Yeah, that's true. That is true. But yeah, I would say America, because they're just everywhere. They're just convenient.
Nice. 24-hour as well?
Yeah, everything's 24-hour in America. So that's good. But I really, like, I love the, like, independent gyms. Like, the gym I go to here is, like, a little independent one.
Nice.
And it's just, it's cool. Like, everyone knows everyone.
Sure.
And it's a bit quick and different. So I like that, but I would say America, when you're traveling especially.
Nice. Well, they've got a chance to level it up now, because the final one is the biggest one, I think, is the people.
Australia.
Yeah? Yeah?
But everywhere's nice. Everywhere's nice. I think Australians are just very, like, down to earth.
Sure.
Friendly people that can have a joke and say cunt.
Nice.
And no one gets it. But the same with England. But yeah, I would say probably Australia. But that's obviously because I'm from here.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I expected you to say that. And Australia takes it 4-2. So Australia's the big winner. There you go.
Yeah.
Home country. Represent.
Love that.
Well, now we're going to move on to, like, just a little bit of general wrestling stuff, because as a UK-based podcast, I really wanted to ask you about your return to the UK.
Yes.
And I know it's stuff that you post on Twitter and stuff, and, like, about how much it means. And I just wanted to get your thoughts on, just especially with those even resurgent shows sort of being like the first ones back. Like, what was that feeling like walking back out in front of that British crowd, a crowd that, like, has so much love for you, like, after so long? What was that like?
It was so cool. Like, I think wrestling wise, like, the UK is probably, like, like, my home, because it's where, like, I really, like, discovered who I was, and, like, I, like, grew. Like, I was, like, a little fucking child when I first got there. I had no idea who I was in wrestling, and, really, like, discovered myself over the, like, 2.5 years that I was there the first time.
Yeah.
And so I think it was just really, like, surreal, because I was always like, oh, fuck, are people going to remember me? Like, I don't know why I thought that.
Oh, they were obviously going to remember you. Like, you left such a mark. Like, I remember, like, when you said you were going home, like, the outcry from British fans on Twitter was like, why? What are you doing?
I know. It was terrible. But yeah, like, I was always going to come back. I just didn't know when. And, like, the whole time that I was back here, there was people, like, promoters messaging me being like, oh, we want to bring you back. But, like, obviously I was fucking stuck. So yeah, it was so nice. Like, it was, like, heartwarming.
Yeah.
It was really cool. And just walking back into, like, a locker room, like, Eve was the first one that I was back for. And it was just, it's crazy because I honestly felt like I never left.
Really? Just that,
like 5 minutes after I was there, it was just back to normal.
Nice. And that's really nice to hear as well. Like, it's nice to hear that you bedded back in well.
Yeah, and, like, seeing Millie for the first time, it was literally like we had never been apart.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that Medusa Complex reunion, the in-ring side of the Medusa Complex reunion. Again, was that the same? Was it just natural? Was it just like it's barely been a week, yet alone like a year and a half?
Yeah, and it was like, so we were meant to have that first one, and then I hurt my trap. So obviously I couldn't do it, and then I kind of found out that I was leaving, and I was like, okay, like, I messaged Dan and was like, look, I'm leaving on this date. I really want to have this tag. Like, I need to tag with her before I go, just not to, like, close the door on it, because I don't think it is closed, but to have, at least that moment.
Yeah, while you were back, to have that opportunity.
Yeah, for now. So he was like, yeah, absolutely, let's do it. And he said, like, who do you want to wrestle? And I was like, Erin and Jenna.
Yeah.
Like, Erin and Jenna. Because they were so, like, instrumental in us as a tag team when we first started, and they helped us out so much. So I felt like it was the only thing we could really do. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. And it was really nice, yeah. Again, it's nice for the fans to have that moment and you to have that moment. And again, like you say, it's not quite closure, but to have it be sort of closure for now.
Yeah, and, like, Erin hadn't wrestled since she had the baby, so it was, like, nearly 2 years since she'd wrestled. And Dan asked her, and she was like, "Yep, absolutely." So I was buzzing, and like no one knew that I was leaving. Like crowd-wise, no one knew, because I wanted to keep it a secret because I surprised my family. So yeah, like no one knew, but Millie knew. Like the girls backstage knew, and like Millie started crying, which is crazy. Like, because she's not an emotional person at all. Like, she doesn't give me anything. Like I'll be like, "I love you," and she'll just not say it back.
It's like the Star Wars thing, and it's like the Han Solo thing. It's like, "I love you, I know," that sort of thing.
Yeah, that's what it is. Like it's not like she's not like she doesn't show like a lot of emotion or like she's very closed, which like is great. Good on her. But yeah, she started crying, and then I was like, "Oh my god, like this is so sad." It was really sad. Because like we had so much fun tagging together.
Yeah.
And it was at a time where like she really didn't want to wrestle. Is when we like first really started tagging.
Yeah.
And the only reason she was wrestling is because we were tagging, because we had fun together.
Yeah. Yeah, and you could see that when you guys were in the ring together. Like you could see that connection, that dynamic you have. And like it must be great for you as well. Like sorry, go on.
Because we were friends first. And, like, we just clicked instantly. Like, the first training session, like, when I met her, it was, like, my second day in the UK. And we just clicked instantly, and we were just, like, fucking around and having fun. And we had a match that night at training, and it just, like, clicked really well. And then I loved wrestling her for so long. And I was like, fuck, we should tag. And, you know, like, the dynamic was really cool. Like, so, yeah, it was just nice to have that moment again. And I want to tag with her all the time forever.
And you will, we're sure it'll come back, absolutely. And it must be nice, even if you know you're in different countries. It must be lovely to see the work she's doing now and how well she's doing and that push she's getting, you know, and just to see her doing so well. It must be lovely.
Yeah, it's really cool. I'm really happy for her.
Yeah, awesome. Well, the final thing I wanted to ask you about your UK comeback was not about your match with Cara Resurgence, because that was a classic. Ultimately, let me just say that was incredible. That was an amazing match. Like that's still probably my match of the year at the moment. Like, and there's been some belters, but like it was great, and like the whole dynamic, the reaction you got, and everything. Like, if I'm honest, like, you know, personally, you know, I thought you were dropping the title. Because I was like, I don't know how long you were going to be here. I was like, maybe she's going back to America, maybe she's going back to Australia, and like Cara just had that heel turn. I was like, that sort of makes sense for Cara to take it from that. But yeah, great match. I'm really glad you kept the strap. But like, yeah, no, great match. It was incredible. The thing I wanted to ask you though is like, was it tempting to, in that moment, leave Connor for Mad Curtis Connor? Because
that was so funny. That was so funny. Because it just worked perfectly. Like, it was sad because Connor got COVID, so obviously he couldn't do it. But then Curtis put out that like let me know video earlier in the week, and I was like, I messaged him and I was like, Curtis, you should be Connor, like you should have got the part for him because you auditioned. And he was like, fuck, that's so funny. And I was like, okay, I'll bring you his clothes. And they just like, it looked so funny on him. And then I went and got hairspray and sprayed his hair. And then I did get confused a few times, you know, like he was over in the corner and I'd look up and I thought it was him. But fuck, it was so funny.
I'm not going to lie, he pulled it off fantastically. It was brilliant.
He did. He was in the ring practicing his moves beforehand. It was so good.
What did Connor think? Was Connor impressed?
Loved it. And he loves Mad Kurt, so it was perfect.
Oh, we all love Mad Kurt. Although, do you still love Mad Kurt? Because that was the thing. We mentioned the fairy bread earlier, and you and him had a bit of beef about that on socials.
An idiot? Yeah, he's an idiot. But that's fine. That's endearing, you know what I mean?
That's the thing that makes you love him, right?
Yeah, fuck, he's so funny.
Yeah, we all love Kurt. We've got to try and get him on the podcast. So, like, Kurt, if you're watching this, come on the podcast. You can slag off fairy bread all you want. Like, it'll be fun. It'll be fun.
You should make him try it live.
Oh, that would be great, actually. Yeah, we might have to do that. That might be our first, like, live in-person interview, and we'll get him to try it and see his reaction. Brilliant. Well, we got a couple of final features sort of, like, in closing here. This one's called What's in a Name? And it's really simple. It's just asking you about how the name came about and what it takes to sort of be you in the ring. So the question is simply, what does it take to be the violence artist?
I think, oh my goodness Christ. Just being like unapologetically yourself, I think. You know, I have a lot of like, I'm very opinionated and like strongly believe in things and stand up for what I believe in. And I think like that kind of encompasses that, but also seeing like wrestling as an art form and, you know, creating something more than just, you know, doing a wrestling match.
Yeah, I think, awesome. Love it.
Yeah.
Well, there was one more question before our sort of final feature, like final one-off question. And I was trying to find a way to segue into it, this whole conversation. I haven't been able to, so I'm just going to ask it straight out, because it's from what you tweeted the other day. What is the nut bush? Because it sounds weird. It sounds like I shouldn't be asking it. It sounds like I'm asking you something inappropriate, but like...
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I kind of didn't think about that when I tweeted it. The nut bush is like it's a Tina Turner song.
I do not know this. Like...
Nutbush City Limits, I think it's called.
I like sort of did a quick Google of it when I saw you tweet it, and it seems like it's this dance that only Aussies know.
Yeah, but I didn't know that. So it's like this dance, and...
How's it go? Can you show us?
Happens at... No, fuck no. Absolutely not. Maybe I'll do a TikTok.
Yeah. Oh, you should, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, you know, at parties, at weddings, at celebrations, at discos when you're a kid.
Right, like the Macarena or the chicken dance.
Yeah. And I just thought it was a universal thing. And then my friend tagged Connor in like, 15 things that only happens in Australia. And one of them was like the nut bush. And I was like, wait, what? And I was like, have you never heard of that? And then he's like, no, what the fuck is that? And I like ran into my roommate's room and I was like, Jordan, fucking Connor's never heard of this. And then my mum called me and she was like, yeah, I found out because, so Nutbush is like a place in America.
Right.
And so like one of my mum's friends, she went there and there's a big Nutbush sign and she was doing a Nutbush in front of it.
But no one knows what that is in America.
All these people are like, what the fuck are you doing? Which is crazy because it's an American...
It's an American artist, an American song, yeah, and like an American place. That's so weird. Yeah, have you like delved into this? We need to know the history. We need to know what the root of this is.
I know, but yeah, it's fucking everyone knows it here.
That's mental. That's really weird.
I have not done this dance since I was fucking in year 6, probably. At my year 6 disco.
Oh, it's time to bust it out again. It's time to get it out.
I did it the other night. I put the song on and I just knew it. Like it was like muscle memory.
Instinctive, like riding a bike.
It's ingrained into you if you're Australian.
Yeah, you're sort of like born with it. You don't even need to like learn it. You come out like just knowing it.
Yeah, and I said to him, I was like, you're going to have to learn this because I bet it's on the fucking citizenship test or some shit. Like, if you want to be here, you're going to have to learn this dance.
Brilliant. Well, I can't wait to see you guys do that together. That's the TikTok. It's each week you're teaching him another bit of the dance until he gets it.
Okay, it's really easy too. It's actually a shit dance, but...
I mean, it's called the Nutbush. I can't imagine it's a great dance, but...
it's great.
It's cult classic.
Yeah, for sure.
Love it. Well, Charlie, we've got one final feature here before we wrap up, and this is about you. This is a shoot. This is not about Charli Evans.
Oh, no.
This is a shoot. This is Anatomy of a Pro Wrestler. And I'm just going to fling some questions at you. You let me know the first thing that comes to mind.
Oh, no, I'm scared. Okay.
No, it's all right. It's fine. It's nothing too strenuous. Promise. The first one is my favourite pre-show meal.
A monster.
Everyone says that. That is the go-to for every wrestler. Basically every wrestler we've said. Like some people say like a salad or something, or like rice, but monster is the classic. Keep it light, energy filled. Yeah. Nice.
And then post-match some like Sour Patch Kids.
That was exactly. My next question is your favourite post-pinfall pig out.
Yeah, Sour Patch Kids.
Is it just especially a big old bag?
After death matches, especially.
Why specifically after that?
Just to like replenish your sugars and stuff because you've bled.
Right, yeah. Keep that adrenaline high going.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't want to pass out right now.
Nice. Well, the next one, they're not all food-based, I promise. This is the final food one. But it's my favourite type of food. It's not pre-match, post-match. It's any time. You know, you've got a free day off. You fancy your favourite food. What is it?
Ramen.
Love ramen, yeah.
Yeah. There was this little like ramen store in Japan and I would just...
Nice. Yeah, I need to get to Japan. My partner wants to go to Japan. I want to go to Japan too. It's the flight that's daunting for me. I can't do the flight, but I'll brave it.
Worth it.
I will brave it. But ramen is incredible. We had Mike Bailey on saying the same. Mark Bailey spoke for a good 10 minutes about his love of ramen when we had him on.
Oh, it's so good.
It's brilliant. He recommended this place in London as well, like for ramen, and we went there, and man, it was just incredible.
It's just so good. My favourite.
Awesome. The next one is the song that gets me the most hyped.
Scum of the Earth by Rob Zombie.
Nice. Yeah, that's a great shout.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
So yeah, it pumps me up.
yeah, love it. Rob Zombie's so underappreciated, I reckon.
Oh, the
Like,
king.
yeah,
Love him.
awesome. And the next one is my favourite band of all time. It doesn't have to be a band, it can be like a solo artist or something. Favourite music act of all time.
Ooh.
Because I know you're eclectic. I know you've got a good mix.
Yeah. Fuck. At the minute, Pink Pantheress is my vibe.
I do not know that.
You should look her up. She's cool. She's from England.
Okay.
She's fucking sweet. I love this band called Mum Jeans.
I know Mum Jeans. Mum Jeans are good. Yeah.
Big Mum Jeans fan, so I would probably say them.
Nice. What's Pink Pantheress like? What's the style of music?
Kind of like, she's like made it in her room sort of vibes.
Nice.
Like
Okay.
techno, yeah.
Cool.
She's really good.
All right, I'll look her up. Nice. I like this because that's where I get like a lot of new music recommendations from. It's like people like say stuff I haven't heard of, and I'm like, I need to listen to that.
Yeah, love her. She's awesome.
Nice. The next one is final music one. The best gig I've ever been to.
A Day to Remember.
Good band. Good live band.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah,
live
they
band.
were really good live. Really, really good live.
Nice. Where was that?
That was in Sydney.
Nice.
And also Turnstile.
Turnstile are great.
Yeah, it was like I saw Turnstile at the Mill in Digbeth.
Oh, perfect venue for them. So small, like really like intimate.
And it was maybe 2 or 3 days before we went into lockdown.
Oh, like that's like
it
lingering memory.
Yeah, it was really nice to just like have that. It was fucking terrifying actually. There's 300 people in this room.
Yeah.
But that was cool too because I feel like it was like right before Turnstile really blew up.
Oh yeah, like they're really getting recognition now.
Yeah, so that was really cool too.
Nice, awesome. Some really good picks there. I like that. Next one is the movie that I chose, The Locker Room.
Ooh, fuck. I'm not a big movie person, hey.
No?
No.
What if we switched it and went like TV series?
Oh, TV series. I love anything like serial killer documentaries, shit like that.
Oh, you would love my partner. My partner and you would get on so well. Like she's so into that sort of stuff, and I'm like, how? Like I'm worried it'll like rub off on her too much, and I'll like.
Right. I listen to like serial killer podcasts, like falling asleep. Like.
How? How do you do that? Really That's so unnerving.
It's very intriguing, but yeah, I don't have the attention span for movies.
Fair enough. That's fair enough. Yeah. I get that.
I know it's fake.
Again, my partner does that. Unless it's like Harry Potter, which we watch, and like, but again, even that's awkward now to watch because of everything. Okay. But like, even then, like most of the time, like just halfway through a film on your phone and stuff like that, you get distracted, don't you? It's like, movies are a slog now.
Love YouTube, love documentaries.
Yeah, sort of like 20-minute, half hour, like 45-minute, perfect.
Yeah. Anything real, I'm really into.
Nice.
Like that I can learn from, do you know what I mean?
Oh, no, we're very opposite in that. Anything real is like, it just triggers me too much. I'm like, no, I can't handle the real.
See, I like get really scared of like horror movies and stuff like that, but I'll listen to like serial killer stuff.
That's a really odd dynamic there. That's...
Yeah, I don't know. I can't really think of a movie though.
That's fair enough. Like we went for the TV instead, and that's fine. That's cool. Yeah, I like that.
Documentary. Let's see.
Nice. Next one is my favourite way to relax.
At the gym.
Yeah.
That relaxing. I don't know. I think you can like zone out. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, a few wrestlers have said that. Like, I am not a gym goer, if I'm honest. So for me, that's not relaxing. But I can understand that if you like the gym, it's probably a nice, like, relaxing let off of energy.
Yeah, love yoga.
Nice.
Love getting a massage. That's always nice.
Oh, that's very weird for me. Like, a stranger touching my body seems like the most uncomfortable thing in the world.
Oh, yeah, I understand that. Yeah. I have a friend that's a masseuse, so it's a bit
easier, yeah. Fair enough.
He's been saving my trap. Shout out, Simon. Thank you.
Brilliant. The next one is my first job.
I worked at a noodle place when I was like 14.
Nice. And there the love of ramen came in.
Maybe, yeah. I made myself sick on like nasi goreng. I couldn't eat it for like fucking 3 years after it because I like would eat it every time I was working.
Nice. How did you find the job? Apart from that, how did you find the job, the experience?
It was fine. I was a kid. I was like, yeah, money. Like, yeah. Worked for like 3 hours a night.
Nice. And got noodles at the end of the day.
Yeah, it was so good. But besides that, like before I moved to England, I like worked in gyms and stuff, and I loved that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Next one is if I wasn't a wrestler, I'd be.
Fuck. Don't know. I really don't know.
No.
I used to like skateboard, but I don't think that's like a career option. Do you know what I mean?
I think it can be. I mean, if I'm honest, given some of the videos that Connors uploaded of you on social media, I'm surprised you didn't say basketball player.
Oh, fuck, I'm good.
So,
I'm trying.
Like LeBron levels.
No, they're racking it in, aren't they, those people?
Yeah, exactly. Like, you can easily get a career doing that.
Yeah. I would really love to work with, like, disabled people.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think that would be really rewarding.
Nice. Yeah, that's cool.
I have a lot of friends that do that.
Nice.
So, something like that would be nice. It's like helping people.
Oh, it's lovely. I like that. I like we got all like deep and like proper there. I like that. That's nice. That's really nice. That's really nice.
Basketball.
Do both.
Yeah, if they want me, I guess I'll do it.
The next one is my greatest fear.
Oh, fuck. This is deep.
Go on. You don't have to go too deep if you don't feel comfortable with it. But
I'm scared of a lot of things.
Really?
Yeah, I guess like wrestling wise, you know, like getting hurt is always in the back of your head. I think I'm very scared of being forgotten. Sure. I think especially right now that I'm taking a bit of time off, you know, like I don't want people to just forget about me.
Oh, I don't think people will. Like the people that I know, at least are like just from like the wrestling community that I like associate with. Just everyone's like itching to have you back. Like
I love that. One day, I swear.
So I'm sure the wider community is like that as well.
I'm scared of heights.
Yeah, don't like heights.
Scared of heights. I'm scared of fucking most things in death matches. But I love it.
Yeah, you conquer that one, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, there's always like things that I won't do in that. But yeah, I guess just heights is like my one fear. Fucking hate chickens as well. Really scared of them.
Chickens?
Yeah. Fuck them.
Is there a reason for that? Like something that happened? Like, or is there a reason for that? Because like
I got chased by one when I was little.
Oh, okay. Oh.
And I just hate them, and I'm vegan, so like I should love them.
That's you're like no, get away.
I would never hurt one, but don't want them anywhere near me.
But you're fine with massive. You're fine with massive like fuck off spiders on the wall.
You know what is my like number one top fear? That is so weird, but I just never say it because it's so weird. Okay, you know when you like, when you pour a glass of milk.
Right.
If you do, that's a bit odd. But anyway. And there's like bubbles at the top.
Yeah.
Like air bubbles. That's my worst fear.
That's to be honest, that's weird. Like, because I get it with a fizzy drink. If I'm honest, I haven't had a glass of milk probably since I was like 5 or something. But I know exactly what you mean. And that's weird. Because I'm like, where do the bubbles come from in that?
Yeah. Why are they there? I don't like those.
Yeah, that's weird. No, that's a weirdly relatable one. I'll give you that.
That's my top fear in the world. I can't look
milk
at it.
Bubbles.
Not that I see it often, but that's my worst.
No, I tell you what though, because again, like if you put that on like a wrestler profile or like a dating profile or something, if you put greatest fear milk bubbles, people will be like, what?
Yeah, who are you?
But like when you explain it, it makes quite a lot of sense.
Right.
Brilliant. Well, the next one is a few wrestling ones here. The next one is my favourite wrestling match ever, and we'll go one you've been in and one you've seen.
Fuck. Okay. I think my I can't choose a favourite match that I've been in. Recently, I would probably say me and Marsha at Beyond.
Yeah, I heard that was great. I haven't had a chance to see it, but I heard that was great. I knew it was going to be great when they announced it. Like, you and Masha, like, obviously.
Yeah, I was so surprised that wasn't, like, the first thing that I got offered when I was in America, because that just made sense to me. And, like, we both said this for so long, and, like, no one was booking it, and we had to basically, like, beg someone to book it.
Which is mental. Like, yeah, the other, everyone should be begging you to do the match, right?
Yeah. So I think probably that one. And it was just, like, I put so much into it. Besides that, maybe, like, me and Rena, I really liked the GCW. That was really cool. My favourite match ever. Fuck. I don't know.
Too many?
Yeah, so many. Can I just choose like a random one? Like,
yeah, absolutely.
sentimental value.
Let's like go on. If it's sentimental value, then, or like if someone were to be like, you know, a non-wrestling fan were to be like, show me what wrestling is, what would you pick?
Oh, fuck. Okay. I think sentimentally, when Eddie debuted for AEW, against, I feel like that has a little special spot in my heart.
Yeah.
So I think that was just really cool to see. And he like kind of like clued me in on it beforehand. He was like, hey, you should watch this, like watch AEW tonight.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay.
Hello.
And then like they gave him the mic and they just let him talk and they just let him be him. And I like, because I love Eddie. Like Eddie's been my favorite wrestler since I was like fucking 12.
Yeah.
And then like getting to meet him and like really like get to know him. And then he lived at my house in England for like 3 months when he was there. So I think like just to see him like actually, you know, get a mainstream platform where he belongs, I think that probably that match.
Yeah, that's really lovely as well. And like he's doing great work and like he's really getting the recognition he deserves now.
I know. It's so cool. And it's so good.
Yeah.
Fuck, can't wait for him to be Punk. That'd be mad.
Yeah, that would be mad. And that's the thing, you mentioned it like with Masha, but like we're disappointed. Why is Tony Khan not kicking your door down trying to get you versus Eddie on AEW?
I tweet him all the time about it.
Yeah, I know, and he's not replied. It's ridiculous.
I know. That's my dream match.
Yeah. To be honest, I had dream match to ask you, but I fairly knew it would be you and Eddie. Like, that's the one you go on about a lot, and like I was like, yeah, we need that. Tony, if you're watching, get on it. What are you doing?
It's money.
It's money. It is money, and you're gonna have like 3 different time zone audiences in on it.
I know. Yeah, that would be like. I'd probably just quit after that. Honestly. Like, where can I go?
Like peak. Like, that's the peak.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna get any cooler.
He's saving it. That's it. He's gonna wait for Eddie to win the title, and then he's gonna bring you in to take him on for the title. That's gotta be it.
That's it. Yeah, like, I wanted to wrestle this man for so long. Like, I remember, like Schadenfreude and friends had him on the show, and I was like, please book me against him, please, and they didn't. And then I cried about it. I was like bawling my eyes out. I was like, no, I just want this match so bad. And then I think Good tried to make it happen, but Eddie already had another show that day.
It will happen. We'll get there.
He's very respectful to his bookings, which I respect. But,
but Eddie, stop being respectful to your bookings and make this happen.
Anyway, so I was sick. But yeah, dream match. That's my dream match. And then my other dream match is me versus Rena in Corrigan Hall.
Yes, nice.
Yeah,
that would be
those
lovely.
Are my 2 that I just like. I literally every day I just put them out there.
They'll happen. We'll manifest them enough. We'll put the vibes out there. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Love it.
Yeah,
love it.
I'll be happy.
Brilliant. Well, the next one is the big. Let's say like in person, like not on TV or something. The loudest pop I've ever heard.
I don't know if it was like a pop per se, but when I went to America and we did the JCW show in the afternoon and then GCW in the evening, and I was in the showboat and I was just standing in the crowd and just like the atmosphere was like nothing I had ever yeah, and I was like almost in tears.
Wow, that good.
Yeah, incredible. I was just blown away by it because I don't think like they're like on Fight, it just doesn't do it justice. Sure.
Yeah, when you're there, it's so much more real and like.
Yeah, it was just like honestly, it was like electric, and that sounds so cliche, but it honestly was.
Yeah.
Like just the stuff go and then they announced like Hammerstein, and I was like it was a crazy like room to be in because like Fight does not do it justice at all.
No. But that must be cool as well, like, to be in, like, wrestling as long as you have and still get those moments where you're like, this is, like, another level.
Yeah. Or the other pop was just me and my housemate when Robbie Eagles won the IWGP Junior title.
I think you posted that on socials, didn't you? I saw that, and, like, your reaction to that was brilliant.
Yeah. That was so cool. And I can just collectively hear, you know, everyone from Australia just, like, fucking scream at the same time.
It was just you guys, but it felt like it was the city. It felt like it was...
It was amazing. That was like one of the coolest moments ever.
Awesome. Well, the next one is my favourite wrestling venue, like venue to wrestle in.
The Frog and Bucket.
Yeah, great answer. Yeah. Intimate and like super like, not dingy, but you know what I mean? Like almost like a dive bar like feel.
Yeah. Love it.
Nice.
My favourite. Over Corrigan Hall, which is crazy. That's my second one.
I mean, it's a weird one, isn't it? Maybe don't tell Corrigan that. Be like, you know what's better than you guys? The Frog and Bucket.
Frog and Bucket.
Have you seen this place? Look at
music that lives there. Like, I just love the Frog and Bucket so much.
Yeah, great venue. Those ones are always like just that little bit extra spark, don't they?
Yeah, it's just something magical about it. Like when Ryan first started running there, I was like, oh, I love this. And like Ryan was like one of the first people that, you know, he was like one of the first people that replied to me when I first started sending messages out to places in the UK when I was first coming over. And then he was like, yeah, like we have this show, you can wrestle on it. I was like, okay, fucking amazing. And then, yeah, like Lucha Forever, like used me a lot. So that was amazing. And they were just like giving me like cool, good things to do. And then like that chant, like the Charli Evans chant started in the Frog and Bucket. Oh, I love it.
Is that your favourite chant? Because that one seems like it gets you, like.
I love it. It's so cool. I'm so sad it doesn't like carry over, but I guess because I don't use that music anymore. So
no, yeah, you need to get it back and then it'll start again.
Yeah, like I just think like the UK for chants is just so good.
Yeah, a few people have said that. We've spoken to like a few overseas people who have said the same thing.
Yeah,
like it's just different thing over here.
Yeah, for sure.
Nice. A couple of final ones are about travel. The first one is my favourite place in the world.
Japan.
Yeah, I thought you'd say that. Yeah. I
love.
Yeah, I can. You hide it subtly, the love for Japan, but.
It's my whole heart. I would fucking bawl my eyes out every time I would leave.
Yeah.
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 It's just like nowhere. It's just like a whole different world.
Go on then. Well, in that case, the final one. Let's say not Japan because that's the obvious answer, but it's my my dream holiday destination.
Hawaii.
Is it?
Yeah.
Why Hawaii?
Where's so bad. It just looks beautiful. It just looks.
And like culturally as well, it's like that really cool mix of like Asia and like America and things like that.
Yeah, and it's just. I love coastal areas and I love the beach and I love the ocean. So like that obviously, and the fruit looks amazing. Big mango fan.
Nice. So. Oh, mango, elite fruit.
Elite fruit, and I just bet it's just like next level in Hawaii.
Oh yeah, I bet it's like the freshness of it as well, like just different.
Like I follow this girl on TikTok, and she always tries different fruits from like Hawaii, and I was like,
just like I need it, give it to me.
Yeah, that's my dream, and I'm sure it will happen.
Amazing, yeah, it will, absolutely, amazing. Yeah. Well, Charli Evans, thank you so much for coming on the Grapple Theory podcast. It's been an absolute delight having you on. It's been like on our bucket list to have you on the podcast since we've started last year. So to have you on now is fantastic. I hope you enjoyed it.
I did. Thank you so much.
Good. I'm so glad. We always end our interviews by giving our guest a final bit of promo time. So you've got a new book coming out.
I do.
Epic picture book. Obviously, hopefully you'll be back wrestling sort of more full-time soon enough. Whether it's over in Australia, whether it's when you come back to the UK or back to the US, or whether it's your OnlyFans as well. You've got plenty going on. You've got so much going on. It's ridiculous. But wherever in the world people are, however they consume your content, why should people be checking out Charli Evans? Why is Charli Evans going to steal the rest of 2022?
Oh, that's horrifying. Because I'm fucking cool as fuck. And you should follow me because of that. No. I don't know. I just think I offer something a little bit different, a little bit unique. If you want to follow me, please follow me. Charli Evans Pro on Twitter and Instagram, onlyfans.com/Charli Evans. Please buy my new book if you would like to. If you don't want to, go fuck yourself. No, I joke. But yeah, so if you want 20% off, it's available on my OnlyFans. I'll give you a code for like the first 3 or 4 days. It's available on the 9th. But yeah, I just think I'm just really interested in, you know, making like a brand out of this, and just presenting wrestling in like a different way and a more artistic way. And I think it's just, you know, a bit different, and, you know, it just gives it more substance than just two people bashing each other. But yeah, I would love for you to follow me if you'd like to.
Amazing. Charli, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Yay, thank you.